Good morning, friends. Welcome back to Astrology Today. My name is Mel Rose, and I'm here to share your daily aspects. Today is March 9, 2022. Sun in Pisces. This is a time to play and create. It's also a time of rest and reflection at the end of the zodiac cycle. There's been a lot of intense energy in the astrological sphere lately. No doubt we've been focused on the work of relationship and self-expansion. Understand that it's okay to take a break, to sit in quiet reflection. Listen to the still small voice within and be kind to yourself as you seek also to nurture your partnerships. The waxing crescent, nearly first quarter moon in Gemini, invites us to seek creative and playful outlets for our hearts in our homes as we finalize our strategies and begin to take action on those personal goals. So we're going to finalize plans and get started. Moving those plans into fruition so that a week or so from now, when we have a full moon, we will have a good reason to celebrate with the culmination of some goal. Okay, I'm going to get right into the aspects today. I just want to let you know that there's a legend on the side, and the legend contains most of the symbols that are on the page today. So if you need a word or a name to go with a symbol, they're all right there. Otherwise, I'm going to discuss them as I go. I have divided the page otherwise into two columns, one for each of our luminaries. Now, the moon sheds light on our inner lives. This is who we are on the inside, how it feels to be in your body, your heart, and your mind. Those things you think, feel, know, and intuit, but might not necessarily ever express. And also sort of your private life, how you come to be in your home life and with the people who are at home with you. The aspects the moon makes are relatively brief because the moon moves rather quickly, and they have a lot more to do with those things we think, feel, know, and intuit. The sun sheds light on the outer life. This is more about who you are in your workspace or in the social and civic realms. So, it's that part of you that is outward facing and interfaces with the public. And I address the sun's aspects and all the other planets' aspects over here because they have more to do with who we are in those sort of outer life spaces, and they take longer than the lunar aspects. Okay, so we start on the sun side of the page today at 7:32 in the evening. Mercury makes ingress to Pisces. So for a few days there, Venus and Mars conjunct moved into Aquarius, and Mercury was also in Aquarius. So, that had our plans and our thoughts sort of surrounding the same sort of structural and community issues that Venus and Mars are really just starting to explore. And now it's moving into Pisces, and Mercury is our planet for thoughts, plans, communications, that day-to-day running around that we do. And in Pisces, communication becomes less direct, more a little emotional and intuitive. We become better listeners, and we may need time to develop our thoughts before we express them. So, it can be a good time to kind of sit quietly with yourself and, really see what you can listen and see what you can hear, and, find a creative way to let that out. The other two aspects on this side of the page are ongoing aspects. Jupiter sextile Uranus. So this is our sense of expansion, which is in Pisces. Okay, so we're talking about expanded creativity, is in a sextile or a very positive cooperative vibration. with Uranus, our planet that brings about change. It brings about shakeups, really, and then that helps us see places where we need to make changes, or we can make changes to sort of refine our process and have things the way we want them. Now's not the time to be stingy with our resources. Heed your instincts toward positive shifts, okay? So with Uranus involved, it's not just changes, it's like intuitively changing, it's like instinctually changing, seeing what needs to happen and just making the shift without really even thinking very much about it. And that sextile is really, it cooperates, it's got this, your sense of expansion and good fortune cooperating with your ability to make changes. So look for those positive changes, those changes that are steps in the right direction. You know it when you see it, and that will help you expand your sense of who you can be and what you can have. Venus conjunct Mars will also be with us through the spring equinox, which will be March 20th. And they just moved into Aquarius, so our partnerships are taking on a lighter feel as they interface with the communities that we rely on. What I mean by that is that we were in this very earthen mode. They were in Capricorn before, and it's very head down, just do the work and worry about your own stuff. And then when you move into Aquarius, which they were perfectly conjunct when they moved into Aquarius, guys. It was really beautiful and poetic. So that's that time where you're still hard at work, but you look up and you realize that maybe some broader scope of management is needed. Maybe it's not just me and my own that I need to be working to support and keep together and keep on a solid foundation. Maybe it's my friend group and my family group and my community or my neighborhood. So that's our partnerships sort of moving out of that earth mode into this air mode. It's a lot more intellectual, it's scientific, it communicates, it wants to know what other people think, it wants to create allies, it wants to network, and really be part of that network that is the support for everyone in the community. Remain in conversation with your partners about how we see our goals being expressed. So, just because your focus has shifted from work on my own stuff to, work on being able to help a broader scope of people, that doesn't mean our goals have changed. We just have to be ready to remember them. We have to remember them. We have to keep after those while we're sort of changing focus a little. Okay, so the old goals don't go out the window just because new energies come in. All right, and coming up tomorrow, we will have that first quarter moon in Gemini. This is the time when we go from planning to acting. We want to put in the footwork, send the texts and the emails, and have the communication, Gemini, that helps us realize our goals. A week after that, we will have a full moon, and we'll have a time of culmination there where we can celebrate what we have gotten done, what we have, what we have achieved this month. And then coming up on Sunday, Sun conjunct Neptune. So the Sun and Neptune will overlap. They're all over here in the sign of Pisces. It's interesting. We've had all sorts of conjunctions happening, but a lot of it happened in Capricorn, and now it's starting to happen in Pisces. If you could look at the astrology wheel, which you can go to astro.com, and they have a chart of the moment. So if you're interested at all in astrology, learn to look at the chart of the moment, because it's fascinating to see right now. There's sort of a wheel that has all of the signs around it, and all of the planets pretty much are just clustered in one side of the wheel, and they're all like in Capricorn, Aquarius, and Pisces. They're just like hanging out right together. So it's pretty intense energy, it's like everybody's crowded in one corner of the room. So Sun conjunct Neptune is really going to shine the spotlight on our sense of who we are in community, and our sense of who we are in relationship to spirit. And I really think that has also a lot to do with this Venus conjunct Mars, because it's going to be, uh, it's going to be that planet for community spirit, right? And it's going to be while Venus and Mars are conjunct in Aquarius, where we are looking out into our communities to see how we can help support them. Okay, that is all for the aspects today. Thank you so much for being here. If you're still with me, please give me a like, a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel. Share this with somebody if you think that it will resonate. If you know someone who loves astrology and could perhaps, benefit from seeing a sort of daily report on it, I would appreciate it if you'd share it. And if you have any thoughts or comments, please do put them in the comments section below. I love to hear from you guys, and I love to respond. So now I'm going to talk a little bit of tarot. First, we're going to talk about the tarot card on the side of the page. This is the Nine of Cups. We've been talking about it for several days. It represents the second 10 days of the sun's transit through Pisces. So, of course, that's a 30-day transit. There are 3 10-day cards. This one is the Nine of Cups. Pisces is a water sign. Cups are water. So that's how we get that. The Nine of Cups is about emotional satisfaction. And not just the search for it, but having found it. And, really what it says to me is it's a reminder to appreciate what you do have in terms of, especially in terms of creative flow, in terms of inspiration, your ability to relate well with some or many people. If you have a good relationship with yourself or someone else, that's a thing to celebrate. If you have satisfaction in the work that you're doing, you get a certain emotional satisfaction out of the work that you're doing, or if you're experiencing creative satisfaction, like you have all the resources you need and you're creating beautifully, that's really something to celebrate. So just don't forget to be grateful for what you have. Okay. Gratitude. Let's not be smug. Okay. Even though, you worked for it, let's also be grateful for what you earned. Okay. And then I am going to mix up these cards a little bit while I remind myself and the cards that the sun is in Pisces right now, as are Pisces co-ruling planets Jupiter and Neptune. And that doesn't happen all the time for ruling planets to be in their home planets while the sun is there. So it's pretty special. It's pretty significant. And, it really represents to me an expanded flow of intuition, sort of like our what we can bring in energetically in terms of intuitive resources and inspiration for creation has been expanded. And so also an expanded flow for creation, because, we take in inspiration and then we push out creation, right? The moon is in Gemini all day today, and that's, a great time in the heart and home to play and sing and dance and create and really communicate with your loved ones. And the waxing crescent, nearly first quarter moon, says, finalize your plans and start getting to work. So Jupiter sextile Uranus, expanding possibilities when we make positive changes. And when those changes come up, this is really highly functional. It's likely to put out a whole bunch of positive positive outcomes for you if you'll just roll with the instincts and make those changes for the better. Okay. Venus conjunct Mars in Aquarius. We're lightening up a little bit. We're thinking about it more than just pushing our heads against the stone and working. And you know, we're also thinking about our place in the community, in these partnerships that we have. And I want to reemphasize, you know, these are not just your romantic partnerships, although yes, they are. It can be your workplace partnerships and people in your family or your friends that you work closely with or just are close with. So, you know, it's nice to be able to sit back a little bit and just you know, think about how blessed you are and think about your plan for how you want to be in the community, who you want to be in the community, what kind of community you want to have around you. And Mercury entering Pisces, so, you know, just be aware that we're a little more emotional when we're in Pisces. When the moon is in Pisces, we're a lot more emotional. When the sun is in Pisces, we're more emotional, even in a public way. And, you know, when Mercury is in Pisces, that's our communication. It's not just our communication. It's our thoughts, our plans, and our communication. So we're more creative, but we're also more emotional, we're more intuitive, we're likely to try to communicate in more subtle ways or, you know, just different from being very bold or direct. So, you know, remember to say what you mean. And I forgot to mention Moon square Mars, Jupiter, guys. Sorry about that. 9:06 in the evening. Moon square Jupiter. Have fun. Enjoy good company. But avoid overindulging, and that includes overindulging others or sharing too much of what you have with others, okay? It's good to keep good company. You don't have to give away the house. Okay, and with all that said, oh my goodness, look at that. Guys, we got the 9 of Cups tonight. We got double nines. Okay, so these cards are a little bit different looking, but they're also very much the same. You see that really happy, satisfied, slightly almost smug look on his face, and he's got his fancy hat on. I love that. Something about the rhythm of the art in his arms tells me that, you know, he's worked hard. Like he's been using his strengths to achieve what he's achieved. You know, he might have even had to cut some losses in the recent past, but, you know, having mended his broken heart, he moves forward, and here he is. He's quite satisfied. He has the emotional and emotional and inspiration, creative depth that he needs. He has the space to express it and really to feel it. He feels it, and he's very happy with it. He's very satisfied. He's got relationships that are satisfying for him, and he's grateful. He's got a good relationship with himself, and he's satisfied with it, and he's grateful. He may have work that he really loves, and he's satisfied with it, and he's grateful. So I love that. Double nines, guys. Very good fortune. Very good fortune. 9 of Cups twice. Wow, that warms my hearts, guys. So with that, I think we're all done today. I am Mel Rose, and I hope you all have a double 9 cups kind of day. And I will see you all back here tomorrow for more Astrology Today.